Creator of all that is. It seems much precious time is wasted on the subject of our freedom and free will. We hear, what you resist, you attract, yet resist we must. So guide us here, our humble request, and shield us while we focus our attentions on what we do want, not on what we find detestable and deplorable. We know this distasteful awareness of vile evil must be seen, to know what it is we must never allow. Yet it is so very dark and fearsome. Many, too many, dare not go there. So we pray ever that we are given courage, fortitude, direction, and protection as we fight this battle of evil against your divine goodness. Let our will be thy will. And so it is.
Hello, my name's Ron Vroman, the old white man talking head for the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. I'm going to be talking about something called Kol Nidri, and I may be pronouncing that wrong. I haven't seen the pronunciation on it. It's from ancient Hebrew, from what I understand. And what it does is it enables you to cancel any oath that you've ever taken. Just walk away clear. So a judge or anybody else can take an oath in front of you, walk back into their chambers, and clear the whole thing up, and they have no oath. Now, I'm going to read to you what it says. When I was told about this, I couldn't believe that somebody had made up such a thing. All vows and prohibitions and oaths and consecrations and comins and conisi and any synonymous terms that you may vow or swear or consecrate or prohibit upon ourselves from the previous day of atonement until this day of atonement, and from this day of atonement until the next day of atonement that will come for our benefit. Regarding all of them, we repudiate them. All of them are undone, abandoned, canceled, null, and void, not in force and not in effect. Our vows are no longer vows, our prohibitions are no longer prohibitions, and our oaths are no longer oaths. That's what we're dealing with. They have the law form that says, he who can be deceived, let him. So if you don't know about this little document and you don't know what they're capable of, then your ignorance can really hurt you. So when we go after these people for their oath and their bond, just because they broke it, they might not think they've broken it because they performed the Kol Nidri. Can you imagine that? They do that. Our law form is de jure, of the people, the legitimate law form. There's no cost for justice. Juries handle everything over 20 bucks. Judges handle all the work the judges do and settle cases for less than 20 bucks. A de jure jury can't be paid. If they're paid, then you're not serving justice. You're serving whoever's paying you. So what we're dealing with is we must do it ourselves, each and every one of us. And when Tanya calls a grand jury and one appears, and we do our job, then we will be forcing the entire state of Oregon oligarchy into taking their oath to Article 7 original. And I guess you have to make them take the oath every time they take the courtroom. If you don't, they could have canceled the oath from the previous day or month or year and cancel it for a whole year. That doesn't hold true with the jury. They're not hired. They're special help to do a job and hand down a verdict that has no appeal in law. So, our Oregon Jural Assembly, our statewide Jural Assembly, is going to be doing a grand jury this coming Monday. And we're going to be pushing from that grand jury presentments to 38 prosecutors on Oregon, all of whom may have canceled their oath. And we can't trust them because we already know that they've broken their oaths multiple times. Each one of them specifically broke their oath when they refused to respond to our claim of cognizance. Yep. So, we're going to be going after the state of Oregon, upper and lower case, and the state of Oregon, all caps, because I don't know which one they are. And we're going to do it for Oregon, the people on the land and the soil, because we cannot get a legitimate, authentic copy of Oregon statehood documents so that we actually know what is the name of this land and soil we live on. Is it Oregon, state of Oregon, or state of Oregon, all caps, or Oregon, the state? Don't know. They won't show it. And we can't hold them to their oath because they won't face us. But we're getting past that in several places. They're getting to the point where they cannot no longer not face us. Did that make any sense? There's several ways to go. And we're trying all of them and taking the next best step in both of our jurisdictions. In our de jure, our civilian court of record, that's calling a grand jury Monday, in that law form and jurisdiction, I'm there as an Oregonian, a man, with all the people in our assembly that show up. But I'm also registered to vote as a Republican in the de facto. I filed my papers into the Republican Party to vote in the primary for Mark in the de facto. I'm not the only one in the assembly that did that. In fact, I hope everybody in the assembly will actually do that. I think you still have several more days. You can fill out the paper and register as a Republican, vote for Mark in the primary. In addition to that, I can expatriate from being a U.S. citizen and registered to vote back into the de jure and take my rightful place on the land and soil of Oregon. And when I need to, I'll cross back into the de facto and vote in their de facto election that's been bogus and color of law since 1910. And the United States, the Washington District of Columbia, has been bogus since 1861. They're all in color of law. But the number of people that are now awake and now understand what's going on is growing just in leaps and bounds. They keep doing bad things to our good people in all different venues, in family services and child care and traffic court, in the COVID-19 pandemic, the fraud upon the people, teachers in education, doctors in medicine. They've all sold out. We got to do it ourselves. Look at the doctors we know locally and the hospitals we know locally that are demanding still masks and putting, intubators or respirators into people and killing them. It's a miracle that Richard survived that. It's come up to good and righteous people against evil persons. And the evil persons inhabit seats of power in the de facto. I'm talking to a judge to see if he's an elected judge in a county, but a county elected judge is Article 7 original. That's where county elected judges are. They're circuit court judges and appellate court judges in Article 7 amended, which is bogus and exactly what the incorporated structure of the state of Oregon wants. And we're going to stop that this year. Return Oregon to a constitutional Republican form of government, taking one step at a time and doing our best job with the next step. And we've come a long ways and we don't have much further to go. Changing these people out properly, lawfully, constitutionally, with our very best effort. And remember that they can take the Kol Nidre and repudiate all their oaths and vows and consecrations and prohibitions and just walk away, slick as you can be, in the law form that says, he who can be deceived, let him. Well, we're no longer deceived. And we don't trust any of them. And they can all self-correct. It's up to them. They can self-correct in their position as sheriff and become an actual law-abiding sheriff, following his oath. Or you can do something else. And the same thing with the district attorneys, unless they're esquires. But that's another story. And that's all I wanted to talk about. See you at the grand jury on Monday the 25th, noon, 1000 Southwest 3rd Avenue, downtown. And I yield.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying, and then he jumps out of the car, and he's got both his hands up. And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, just shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, they shot him 3 more times.